Okay, welcome back, and in this video we're going to put the elevator servo into the cabin and attach it to the elevator push rod that we did in the last video. The only thing I've done so far is I test fit. I always like to test fit things. I test fit this in there. First off, I'm going to use a quick connect on this. You have three choices. You can use a Z bend, a quick connect, or a L bend like they recommend. I don't like the L bends. They can vibrate off. These seem to work pretty well, especially when you put a good amount of thread lock on. So I test fit this in here and determine where to cut the push rod off, and I'll show you that. Okay, you should be able to see. Let's see right there. Okay, right here. The elevator is neutral, and you can see where it's sticking out. Now you got two ways to do this. I have chosen to put the elevator arm to the back, so it has no chance of interfering with the rudder, which is going to be toward the front. So I marked it where I thought it needed to be cut off and cut it off, but it assumes that this post on the servo is going to be toward the back of the airplane. If you want to do it the other way, you can. The difficulty is that both servos in at the same time facing the same direction, arms can interfere. So I want to have no chance of that. The difficulty lies in that where that quick connect screw is going to be is just under the tip of this. But you can get around that by moving the arm forward, and then you can get the the 3/32 nut driver to tighten it up. And now the other problem is this wire needs to go toward the front of the cabin. Okay, doing that by hand is a rather tedious process. So the best thing to do is take a little string, tie a little nut on it, and hold the airplane up vertically like this. Drop the string in and let it come all the way through. So now it's very easy. I have the nut in this hand, the other end of the string in this hand, to get some tape and tape this on and pull it through. Didn't bring my tape. Let me go get it. I'll be right back. So I took a piece of painter's tape, taped the end of the string to the servo wire and pulled it through. Very easy. And I got two wires in here, the throttle and the elevator. Now making sure that the elevator, the post is toward the back of the airplane, I'm going to drop it in. Okay. Now the trick is to get that wire into the quick connect. So I'm pulling the servo arm out so it'll be clear of this place where the wing bolt goes, and I'm going to slide that over. I'm going to pull the elevator up with my hand, and with a tool here I'm going to push the push rod over and up and in just like that to the quick connect. Okay, so the quick connect's on there. There it is. So the quick connect is on. No screw in it yet. So now I'm going to plug this into the radio, into the receiver, So this is the elevator, so it needs to go in the elevator channel, which is right next to the aileron channel, which has a wire on it. And in it goes. Okay. And we'll turn on the radio. Turn on the receiver. And that'll center the servo. I plugged in the throttle. Okay, wait a minute. Let me turn this off. That's why you label them, and I didn't look at the label. I plugged the throttle even though it's labeled a throttle into the elevator channel. Okay, this one's labeled elevator. And now we'll plug that into the elevator channel. Throttle doesn't need to be plugged in. And now we'll turn the radio back on, and guess what? Now the throttle moves. I mean, now the elevator moves. Okay, so now the elevator is in place. Okay, now I want to see where this is basically level. And that's right about there. Okay. And I'm going to make a mark with my Sharpie marker on where that is. Okay. Just a tiny little dot. Now I'm going to turn the receiver off. Leave the radio on. And I'm going to move the elevator servo manually up far enough to where this can reach the quick connect. So I'm gonna. This is three 30-second hex driver. I want to put that on there. And before I do that, this quick connect is very important because it's controlling the elevator, and you only got one elevator, and if it fails, and you lost your airplane. So I'm going to put a good amount of thread lock on the threads of this screw. Okay, just like that. Okay. And I dropped it. Be right back. So I dropped the thing in there, got blue Loctite all over the place down there, but luckily didn't hit anything vital. So now there's no blue Loctite on this, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is, instead of putting the blue Loctite on the screw, I'm going to drop some in the hole. Okay. And then put this in without dropping it. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to turn the receiver back on. I'm not either. Can't turn the receiver back on because it forces it back this way. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just hold that in place, pull the elevator up to the point that it needs to be, which is right there, and tighten this down. Okay. Then I can turn the receiver on, and I can look, and guess what? It's level. I got it in the right spot. Put my thread lock cap back on. And so let's see. Yep, right where I want it. Okay, so if you pull the elevator servo all the way up, guess what? That's interesting. Okay, well, that's the elevator. I'm pulling the elevator stick back and it's going down. So the elevator needs to be reversed. Let me reverse the elevator. So there's the elevator. Hit the button once. The elevator is now reversed. And back out of that. And now, going up. Okay. And it's still in a good spot. Okay. So I'm going to put the screws in next. You see me put screws in. You don't need to watch this. The fourth screw is going to be a little hard to get to, but I think I can get it. But so that's how you get the elevator in with a quick connect. If you decide to use a Z-bend or an L-bend, more power to you. Good luck. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video.